Good old pinion angle. I said I wanted to make a video talking about pinion angle, and that's what we're going to do today. There's a lot of incorrect information on your good friend Google or the interwebs, and there's a lot of correct information out there. Sometimes trying to decide which is right and which is wrong can be confusing, especially if you're someone like me who, if you have the free time, you're going to sit there and overthink it. So what I want to do today is talk about two things that will help clear all this up and hopefully get you headed in the right direction of setting your pinion angle correctly. So let's get started. I'm sure by the end of this video someone's going to say I'm wrong. It is what it is. There's two things that's going to help you get this set up correctly. One of them is how I've always remembered and have figured out setting up pinion. But lowering vehicles like I do, usually if I lower it, we're not just throwing on a set of drop blocks. We're either flipping axles and going really low, or we're setting up some kind of link suspension, and either time you do either one of those, we're having to set pinion angle. Well, if it had been a while since I've done it, like I said, I'll overthink it and I'll overcomplicate it because I'm wanting to get it right, and I'll end up making it a lot more difficult than it should be. So I've always remembered one thing, and it always gets me in the right direction. And then to be able to explain this video, I wanted to be able to do it where it's really easy to understand. So I thought of another way to be able to explain it. And it's just how these things work for me. Hopefully they'll work for you. So to explain these, let's go to a piece of poster board and I'll see if I can't get this half-ass explained. So hopefully I get this right the first time, because I don't want to have to draw this sweet looking snub-nosed travelall again. If you can't tell, I'm a great artist. There's an imaginary line going through here. We have to have a base or point to measure off of. So our reference is going to start at basically a line going through this vehicle, which is going to be 0 degrees. And anytime for me that we're going downhill, again, all the way through the vehicle, and when I say through the vehicle, really I mean through the component as well, and I'll explain that in a minute. So for me, any going down, running down that way below our 0 degrees, I call that downhill. And if I read it on the angle finder, it's a negative measurement. Anything going above is just the opposite. That's going to be going uphill, and I read it as a positive measurement. And that's through the vehicle, through your components. And by components, I mean your engine, your transmission, the drive shaft, and the rear end, because that's everything that's relevant on this line with your drivetrain. So let's talk about reading with our angle finder real quick and how to get consistent measurements. So what I like to do is read from one side only. That means that I'm either going to be looking from the driver's side or the passenger side. We're not going to start swapping back and forth because it'll confuse you quick. So what I mean by that is, with our vehicle here, we got the front going through the rear. Right there on that imaginary line is our 0, and our drive shaft, we'll say, is running downhill. So anytime we get a downhill measurement, you'll see our little pointer there is on the left side of 0. And anytime we go uphill, it's on the right side of 0. So for me, downhill, left side of 0, that's going to be a negative measurement. Uphill, right side of 0, that's going to be a positive measurement. And we want to stay measuring from the driver's side, because anytime we then switch to the passenger side, this is going to start reading backwards, basically. So pick a side, driver or passenger, and stick with that side only. So here's what I mean by run through your components. We got the front of our vehicle, we have the rear of our vehicle. We have our 0 degree imaginary line that goes perfectly level through there. And I drew these with some dramatic angles on purpose, just where I can really be able to show what I'm trying to say. So how many times have you seen where someone will look at their motor and transmission and they will say, that's running downhill? Correct, it is. Then they'll get to their drive shaft and they will put their angle finder on it and they will say their drive shaft is running downhill. And then they'll get to the rear end, and because this yoke is kind of aimed up visually, they want to say my rear end is uphill. Well, that's incorrect. That rear end is downhill because we have to go through the vehicle, through the components. So if we start at the front of it as well and we draw a line through it, you see it is also running downhill. That seems to be a lot of confusion right there. I see that a lot, that people think that's uphill. Don't trust your eye or what it kind of appears to you visually. Use your angle finder. If we were to put our angle finder on the back of the transmission output shaft, you know, it'd be on the left side of 0, running downhill. We put this on the bottom of our drive shaft. It's on the left side of 0, running downhill. And then we get to where a yoke is aimed up towards that same transmission, and if you put it on there, it's still on the left side of the 0, letting you know it is running downhill. Trust your angle finder. Don't trust your eye or what you think visually it looks like. So if you're tracking with me here and you're gonna do it the way I'm doing it, of saying anything downhill is negative, anything uphill is positive, then the second thing to remember that's gonna help you is if you have two negatives or two positives, you subtract them from each other. If you have a negative and a positive opposite, then you add them to each other. So let me show you what I mean. So say we could put our angle finder on the back of the transmission and it is -3 degrees. Then we put it on top or on the bottom of our drive shaft and it reads -6. Well, over here we put it on the front of the rear end, on the yoke or center, however you need to measure on yours, and it's reading -3. Well, don't worry about, as long as they're both negative, you just subtract them. 6 minus 3, we get 3 degrees. Over here, 6 minus 3, 3 degrees. Kind of looks like 30. You know what I mean. So we have those matching. I'm not going to go into detail about what, that would be your working angle then. I'm not going to go into detail about the debate of what working angle should be. I'm just trying to show you how to measure and see if you have them matching each other. So when we come down to this example, say we put our angle finder back here, it's -3. Put our angle finder on the drive shaft, -6. Well, now we get down to this rear end that is running uphill, because if we could put our angle finder on here, let's say it's gonna read +1. And that line, this line right here is parallel with this one. If we could draw an invisible line going through there, it would be pointing uphill, +1. If we put our angle finder on that, it's now going to read on the right side opposed to the left that we've been using for all these other measurements. So now we would have up here, subtract those from each other, we have 3 degrees, but because we have a negative and a positive back here, you want to add those together and we have 7 degrees. And the reason we have 7 degrees is because this is running downhill, and then instead of this running downhill with it, taking some of the angle out, it's running uphill, adding additional angle on there. So for my travel the other day when I went to set it up, I checked the angle of the transmission. It was at -5. Well, I shimmed it up and got it to -4. I took a degree out there just by shimming it up until it was at -4. I don't have my drive shaft yet. I cut a piece of metal that ran from center to center where I could put the angle finder on it and see what it was gonna be. And it was -2.5. So, because that's a negative and that's a negative, we subtract them from each other, and that's gonna give us a front working angle of 1.5. So that's what we wanna get the rear end to as well. Well, since we know this is -2.5, and we wanna get that, basically we need to set the rear end at -4 as well. Because when we subtract them from each other, we're gonna get 1.5. And we're gonna have our two working angles the same. So I guess with this video, really I should have said there's 3 things to remember, because if you'll remember to go through the vehicle, through the components, when you're reading your angle finder, anything downhill is negative, anything uphill is positive, reading from one side only. And if you get 2 negatives and 2 positives, you subtract them from each other. And if you get a negative and a positive, you add them together. So if you remember those 3 things, then you can measure your pinion angle and make sure to get the 2 working angles matching. I'm not gonna go into detail about what I think the working angle should be, like I said, because that depends on what you're doing. That depends on your day-to-day driving. That depends on if you're drag racing. If you are drag racing, they start to factor in what kind of bushings you have and stuff like that. So we're not really gonna get into that because that's a whole nother subject. I just wanna make sure that you know how to actually measure these angles, and then you can decide where you wanna set them at. So I hope this video helps out. I know I'm not the best at explaining things or teaching, so hopefully it helps and it don't confuse people. If you're new to the channel, please check out some of the other videos. If you always come back, thank you guys again. If you're on Instagram, I'm on there at Puddin's Fab Shop. If you guys want to help my channel out, all you gotta do is drop a comment down below, like or share the video, subscribe. Any of those things help the channel grow, so I appreciate it when you guys do that. And I'll see you guys in the next video. But don't forget, sitting on your ass won't finish your project. I'll see you guys next time.